Hi there folks, and welcome to this week's What Solutions for the Daily Rigour, issue number 135. So despite a service that many consumers complain about, ScotRail has now increased their fares by an average of 2.8%. We've to write this figure as a decimal and as a fraction. Okay, so first things first, well, to change a decimal into a percentage, we times by 100. So to change a percentage back into a decimal, we divide by 100, which means we move everything down two place values. So as a decimal, 2.8% is 0.028. Now to make it a fraction, what we do is we put the percentage over 100, because 2.8% means 2.8 out of 100. But a fraction should always be left in its simplest form, so this is going to be quite an awkward one. What we've got to do first is we've got to get a whole number on the top, and the easiest way to do that I think is just to multiply by 10, and that would give you 28 in the top. Multiplying the bottom by 10 also to create the equivalent fraction would give you 1000. But of course this fraction actually simplifies as well. Think of the biggest number you can divide top and bottom by. So yes, we can divide by 2, but we can actually divide by 4. So 28 divided by 4 is 7, and 1000 divided by 4 is 250. So as a decimal it's 0.028, and as a fraction it's 7 over 250, and that's very impressive, guys, if you got that one correct. Okay, so on to our second story, our travel story. So Venice is now won approval to start charging visitors €10 for short stay visits. So this landing tax they anticipate could generate an estimated €50 million. So how many visitors are they expecting to generate this expected figure? Well, how many €10 would make up €50 million? So in other words, it's going to be a divide. So 50 million is 50 with another 6 zeros. We're going to divide it by 10, so if we do that we get a figure of 5 with 6 zeros. In other words, they're expecting 5 million visitors to Venice, and why not? It's a lovely place. Okay, so on to our health story. So, I personally quit drinking fizzy juice when I was about 15, which was an awful long time ago, let me tell you. I just don't like it. But anyway, you can maybe see why I don't. This is the recommended sugar levels that they're saying that youngsters are exceeding, and you can see why when you see the amount of sugar in typical snack drinks. So how many energy drinks would an 11-year-old have to drink in order to exceed their weekly maximum sugar intake? So how many sugar cubes, as it were, are they allowed per week? Well, they're allowed 7 a day, because it says there that this is daily. So in a week that would be 7 times 7, which is the equivalent of 49 sugar cubes. Now in a can of energy drink there's 13 cubes, so how many times does 13 go into 49? Another divide. So that comes to 3.7692307. So now we need to round our answer in the context of the question. So how many would it take to exceed them? Well, if they drink 3, it's going to be very close to their weekly allowance, but it doesn't exceed it, so we have to round it up to 4. So 4 energy drinks. As soon as you drink 4 energy drinks, that's you more than exceeded your recommended sugar levels if you were an 11-year-old. A frightening thought. Guys, listen to Riggerman here. Stop the energy drinks. They're not good for you. Okay, so on to our final story. So, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire's returned to our TV screens, and I remember this episode well. It must have been about 10 years ago now. So, this man was on the trying to go from $8,000 to $16,000, but of course, if he got the question wrong, that means he would have dropped back down to $1,000. So, if you don't know, what most people would do there is just take the $8,000 and walk away with it. But he asked the audience. The audience got it wrong, but it backed up what he was thinking, so he guessed it, he got it wrong, and he lost $15,000. So which of these square numbers also happens to be the sum of two smaller square numbers? So if you know your Pythagoras, your 3, 4, 5 triangle, 3 squared add 4 squared equals 5 squared. So answer B is correct, because 3 squared add 4 squared equals 9 add 16, which equals 25. So 25 is the sum of two smaller square numbers. So a square number is a number when you times it by itself. So these are all square numbers which you can square root, but only one of them is made up as the sum of two smaller square numbers. But that's a wee bit of CFE 4th level for you, and of course some of you might not be working at that level yet, but when you do, we'll fully support you in the online learning portal if you click in the MTH 416A button. But enough rambling for now, guys. Happy New Year from everyone at Rigour Maths, and I hope you enjoyed answering these questions as much as we enjoyed making them. And I'll see you again next week when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and bye for now.